Hi there and welcome. My name is Devin. Today I will be sharing an energizing movement activity series that I have called Twist and Move. Our bodies can do amazing things, and this series focuses on the different parts of our body that can rotate or twist, mostly in our upper body and our core center, which is like this sort of region. The purpose of this series is to help our bodies move in a three-dimensional way in hopes of feeling more loose, energized, and alive. In this first part of the series, I will be standing, and the second part I will be sitting. Both of these stances are optional, and feel free to choose the one that feels best for you. As always, please feel free to modify and do what feels best for your body, as you know what your body needs today. We'll go ahead and get started. So we are going to start with our arms, and what I'm going to start with is just doing circles with my wrist. And my wrists are just going in a more circular direction. Right now I'm doing it more in to out. And I'm just trying to open up my wrist area. Fingers can be relaxed, or if you want to send energy out through them, do whatever feels good for you. And then when you're ready, you can go ahead and reverse the circle into the other direction. I feel like this direction feels a little odd for me. Whatever range of motion feels comfortable for you, go ahead and do that for yourself. Wonderful. And then I'm going to focus on my arm, where it's only just from my elbow area down to my hand. So I'm just focusing on this area alone, and I am showing my palm, and then I'm going to turn it back. And this movement is only coming from my elbow down. So if my hands were on a desk or a table, I would be able to flip my palms so that they're facing down on the desk or table, and then flipping them up towards the ceiling. My shoulders are pretty quiet doing this, but I'm just offering some rotation through this joint here from my elbow. And the reason why I'm sort of targeting this lower half of our arms, especially for those that may be at a desk or working at a computer or even on your cell phone, we may have some tightness in these areas. Good. Let's just take one more here, and then we're gonna switch the initiation point. So this time I'm actually gonna go from thinking of my upper arm, or this is like my humerus bone, that I am now showing the palm of my hand, but also rotating from my shoulder joint, and then I'm rotating back. So this is like, as if this was like one long bone that I can rotate all the way and going back. And I'm gonna do both arms here, just to show you. And you can also see how much rotation you can do by even seeing like how far you can place your palms either towards the ceiling or towards the back wall. And you may even notice that one shoulder may feel different or tighter than the other. So for instance, my right shoulder right now feels a little tighter as I do this, and I don't feel like I have as much range of motion, but just taking in observations of what your body feels like and what's there for you today. Amazing. Now we're going to take this rotation and slowly bringing our arms up towards the ceiling. And then once my hands are up overhead, I'm going to slowly lower back down. Still bringing in that rotation. It almost feels like my arms are like a light bulb getting screwed into that light. Good. And coming back down. As you do this, and even in this slower manner, you might feel a little more fire building up in your arms. So let's go ahead and just take this one more time, and I invite you to take another inhale as your arms raise up. And then when you're ready, go ahead and exhale back out. Good. And then go ahead and shake that out. Wonderful. So this time I'm going to face this way just to show you what's going on in my upper body, but please feel free to face whichever direction feels best for you. And if I have my arm out, I'm almost thinking that instead of my arm starting from here, it's almost like it starts more from my center or more towards like my ribs here. So I get a lot of nice, juicy rotation and extension as my arms do this circular motion. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to scoop my hand up towards the ceiling and then reach it back behind me and see if I can send a lot of energy out through the fingertips as I make my way back to that starting position once again. My arm is coming up and over and reaching long behind me and coming back down. And then once again, hand is raising up and I'm reaching back behind me, getting lots of juicy rotation there. Let's take that one more time, bringing that hand up and reaching back, scooping long behind you. Amazing. And let's go ahead and do the other side. So I'm going to face you so you can see my other arm at work here. So once again, my hand is raising up towards the ceiling and reaching long back behind me. You can also bring your focus into this as well. So you can watch your hand as it goes up and reaches behind you. Good. 2 more times. And one more time just like that. So we're just inviting more motion, more mobility into our upper body, waking up our upper body. Wonderful. So now this time I'm going to take that same sort of motion, but it's kind of like swimming, where I am actually going to initiate with my back arm too. So at the same time, both of my arms are active, and it's kind of like I'm doing like a backstroke here. And I'm letting my center body go for a ride, so I do have this sort of like cycling motion happening in my upper body. Waking things up. Good. And then we're going to reverse and go the other way. So this time, I feel like if I were to swim, going forward, I am scooping one hand up and over, and then the other hand goes down and around. And you can also take your head into this. So very similar to as if you were swimming. Good. And go ahead and shake that out. So you may feel maybe a little bit more open in your chest, maybe your arms feel a little more invigorated and alive. You can also feel in your back and like shoulder area that things are moving and tightness may be alleviated. And you know too, we all have differences in our bodies, so if you haven't been moving as much, it also might feel a little bit tighter. So just take it easy, do what you need. And we're going to move on to the portion where I am sitting in a chair. But as always, you can also do the standing as well. So for this next portion, I am sitting, and I'm going to actually face on the diagonal so you can see me a little bit better here. And I'm going to have my feet planted onto the floor. And I am really trying to drop my weight or my center down in towards the seat. So I feel very grounded in my center here, and I am also grounding through my feet a little bit by just feeling my feet planted into the floor. And what I'm going to do is that I'm going to cross my hand, opposite hand and opposite leg so that they are touching. And I'm going to take my seat here, or if you have a chair that has a back, you can also take that, or even the arm, depending on what kind of place you're sitting in. But I'm just going to take the back of this little stool I'm sitting on, and I'm going to take a gentle twist of my spine here. And then really try to think of that opposite hip really sinking down as I twist here, so it's not lifting up as I twist, but both sides are very grounded. And I do kind of feel like I'm like wringing like a towel and creating that twisting motion with my spine here. Good. Go ahead and just take a nice deep breath in here. Exhale out and release. One more time, take a nice deep breath in. And exhale. Wonderful. Slowly untwist, and we're going to do the other side. I'm going to just flip myself around so you can see me. And once again, so that opposite hand is going to be placed onto the opposite leg. So this is my right hand and left leg. And then in my other hand is going to create another support or anchor so I can twist my spine. And then see if you can keep thinking of like dropping that hip down so that both hip points are nice and even. And then I also want you to think of growing taller as you're in this twist. You're going to take a nice inhale in and exhale. See if you can twist just a little bit more. A-okay if that's not possible today. And one more time, taking another deep breath in and exhale. Good. We're gonna gently untwist, and I'm gonna meet you back in the center here. So for this next portion, we are going to give ourselves a little bit of a workout in our rib cage area. This is gonna be a little bit more vigorous, just a little bit. And I would advise that you have not eaten anything recently, because we are gonna be moving around. I don't want you to get a stomach ache. So what's gonna happen in this activity is I want you to really think of the center area being grounded down into your chair. And we're really moving from our rib cage and from our upper body. So we're gonna go for a jog, but we're not gonna go anywhere. And the other option you can also do is, if you want to build a little bit more fire and heat in this activity, you could also be standing and take a bend of your knees, so you're actually kind of doing like a squat and building a little bit more fire in through your legs as well. But in this version, I'm going to show you sitting down. So we take our jogging position, and your elbows are going to think of rocking back. So you're literally taking a jog, and I want you to really think of those elbows swinging back, 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 back. Good. And let your rib cage swing side to side as you take this motion. Good. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Now we're going to keep this swinging motion, but this time I'm going to my back diagonal. And I am also letting my rib cage swinging side to side here. So it's a happy medium between it being more side to side, but also going back. And I'm trying to also keep my hips really still, so it's just my rib cage, really getting that rotation and that movement, along with the assistance of my arms. Good. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now we're gonna go side to side, and I'm gonna take my head with this one. So you're like a bell swinging side to side, and it is like a funny little hoedown dance. And really thinking like we're swinging like a bell. Ding dong. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and rest. Woo. Great, good work. I'm feeling a little out of breath. But hopefully in doing that, you feel a little more alive through your center. And yeah, if that felt really good, please feel free to do it again. You can also bring your focus into play with it. So even on all those certain points, your focus can go along for a ride too. I tend to get a little dizzy doing that, but you could do it a few times and try it and see if that works for you as well. So thank you so much for joining me and making time for this self-care activity. This activity is now yours to take, and I invite you to do this activity again anytime on your own, or with a loved one, or by coming back to this video. Thanks again, and take care.